Hello everyone, my name is Holden Hardman. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. For today, my friend Matt and Jenna, people are like, hey, why is it my friend watches instead of my friends watch?
Because I don't matter.
I like how you say that, but your shirt literally says I'm essential.
I am essential.
When we started doing the series, it was really primarily focused around Matt. And so, but now we've realized that Jenna hasn't seen a lot of the MCU and like a lot of the movies that we've seen as well. So today is Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm gonna keep this one pretty low key before I talk about it. A lot of people have been asking me to do that anyway. I really enjoyed this movie. I'll just leave it at that. Like I said in the last video, I have no idea how you're gonna respond to it. Do you have any preconceived notions or anything about this movie? Do you know anything about it at all?
I don't know why, but I've had this preconceived notion that I'm not gonna like this. I don't know why. I mean, I've loved everything else. I've loved Captain America.
Oh, shut up.
I don't know why. I think I saw, seriously 10 seconds of a clip on YouTube of Guardians of the Galaxy. I didn't even know that that's what it was until I read the title. I just was unimpressed. Maybe it's because it reminded me of another outer space series.
You gotta give that up.
It's the truth and the very backbone of how this started. I'm going in open-minded. I've been told that there's humor. I love humor. Comedy can most of the time pull me out of whatever I dislike. I really, really want to give this a chance. Also knowing that when this started out, you did tell me this was like a D-list movie whenever it started out.
No, D-list heroes, really. Like they were superheroes that even superhero fans didn't really know that much about.
The fact that they're an underdog in whatever fashion gives me a little bit of, all right, let's see what you got. Let's see what you got, guys. Let's do it. So I'm going in open-minded. I got a feeling I'm gonna hate it.
We'll see, we'll see. Jenna, do you know anything about this movie before we go into it?
Absolutely nothing.
Shocking!
Are you excited for it or just sort of
Yes.
like, yeah, we'll just give it a watch?
Yeah, there's been a lot of comments that they've wanted us to watch this. So I feel like we're gonna enjoy it. I hope we're gonna enjoy it after the last movie was a little disappointing, so.
You talking about Winter Soldier? How it wasn't very good?
Shut up, man. All right, let's get into it. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Here we go.
Why have you been fatting with the other boys again, baby?
You got a present there for Peter, don't you?
You open it up when I'm gone, okay? Take my hand.
It's me.
They call me terrorist, radical, zealot, because I obey the ancient laws of my people, the Kree. I will cure it!
Look at Mr. Smiles over here. Where's your wife, old man?
But I want no part of this transaction if Ronan is involved.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Killing somebody. You've heard of this. You've seen this, right? You know what that is.
Yeah.
Everyone knows.
No.
Return to me again empty-handed, and I will bathe the starways in your blood.
So figure it out!
Here you go. Oh, I was just kidding about the leg. I just need these two things.
What? There's a legend about people like you. It's called Footloose.
Never seen Footloose.
He thinks I'm some stupid thing. He does. Well, I didn't ask to get made. I didn't ask to be torn apart and put back together over and over and turned into some little monster.
Rocket, no one's calling you a monster.
He called me vermin. She called me rodent.
Infinity Stone.
I will no longer be your slave!
No! Can't fit two people in there. You're gonna die. You'll die in seconds.
Thanos is the most powerful being in the universe.
We're all standing up now.
Bunch of jackasses standing in a circle.
No, Groot! You can't. You'll die.
We are Groot.
Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter.
My hand, Peter.
Set yourself, bitch. We're the Guardians of the Galaxy.
But what if I wanted more than the person who has it?
Still illegal.
That doesn't follow. No, I wanted more, sir. You understand?
My little Star-Lord. Love, Mom.
What do you let it lick you like that for? Gross.
Just finished Guardians of the Galaxy. I really enjoy this movie. It really balances comedy and sincerity, and like it has these really funny but still very deep moments. Matt, what did you think about it?
This one had me like torn at times. It really took me, and I was like, if this was I don't like it, and this was I love it, I was really like sort of this. I was like back and forth. I was like, no. Seriously, like my brain, I was like, yeah, oh. Jenna, you want to start first?
It was a bit of a rough start to begin with. It kind of seemed like it was hodgepodgey. I thought as soon as they introduced Rocket that was going to be really hokey to have like a CGI raccoon the whole time, but he actually was pretty good. It didn't look weird or fake. He was one of my favorite characters. I loved Groot. I finally understand all the memes about him dancing at the end when people say, me in the morning when I drink my coffee. I've never understood that. I think the only hokey-ish character was Gamora's greenness, but it was a good character. Everyone interacted well together. I think the last maybe 20 minutes of the movie really made the movie a solid 8.
An 8 out of 10. Mm-hmm. Better than Winter Soldier?
For sure.
All right, Matt, what did you think?
Do you have any clue on what I think?
I think that you liked it. When we were watching it at the beginning, you had a lot of I could tell that you were like, this is going to be like Star Wars. But near the end there, I think it changed.
So the beginning of it was fair. The middle was garbage. It was so slow. It was very, very forgettable, and I was like, ooh, this is pretty rough. I ranked it, and this is not the final, but I was ranking it all the way down to like 5. I was like, this is pretty rough. The ending was just, wow. They did a really good job. The ending brought the rating up more, but I really didn't have a problem with Homegirl being green. You're right, the CGI raccoon, like, they did really good with it. I didn't have any problems with the characters themselves. If you're new to this channel, we're both nurses. We worked in hospice not long ago, and I had a real problem, and I know this is a minute detail, but I had a real problem with them just pulling the child off of the dying mother that died way too quickly, by the way. You don't just talk like, hold my hand.
That's on par with how most movies.
I know. It's a small nitpick, but anybody in healthcare, you can't help but stop in that moment. Whatever your job is, if you see that in a movie and you see it done wrong, you're like, actually, that's not the way it's done. It's just natural. Very small nitpick. Chris Pratt, he looked really good.
Yeah.
He looked really, really good. I was impressed.
Yeah. He went from Parks and Rec to being like the chubby guy in that show to being like ripped, and he talked about it like on like one of his Instagrams. I remember back in like 2014 how like what he ate and everything. It was a big change for him.
Yeah, I never saw Parks and Recreation.
Yeah, okay. Well, what's your next point?
Okay, immediately when I saw him, I was like, who's this jacked dude? And Drax. That was my favorite character by far.
Yeah, you relate the most to him. Nothing goes over my head too quick. But catch it.
I did. I liked him. I couldn't help it. Like, I really related to his not getting metaphors. I liked it. Like, you hear him talk about his family that was killed, and you know, like, he was willing to die with his friends so he could go see his family. I was just like, oh, bro, that makes me hot.
Like when they stabbed him in the heart to get the yellow goo out.
What is that called?
It's called made up movie stuff.
Yeah. The comedy was good. It was fair. Towards the end, it got even better. When all the ships band together, those little starships band together and created that force field, that was really cool. I think it's important for me to give those little tiny pieces because I think a lot of people don't think I give a crap about any of that. Homeboy's little spear that like went through all the bad guys in the field, the arrow, that was super cool. I like that. Okay, all right. This movie made me cry twice. The first time was when Groot was like, we are Groot. Holy hell. Because he never said anything other than I am Groot. So for him to break that for whatever reason was like, oh, it really makes you pay attention and be invested in it. And then Rocket being like, you're gonna die. Like, oh. And then when you see that he actually did die, nobody ever dies because he's growing back to life. Yeah. That really served his character, even if he was gonna die. That's almost one time that I would be okay with him dying because it really served the purpose. He was saving his friends, but I'm really glad he didn't. The second time I cried was when she said, take my hand, as Homeboy was grabbing the purple stone, and they all start touching and like uniting during that. Oh, that was awesome.
That was cool.
And on top of that, they killed the bad guy. I really wanted that bad guy to die in this movie. I was gonna be really pissed if he made it to the next movie. That honestly took it up even more. I thought it was a cute little piece when Drax walked over and petted Rocket. Yeah. Like Rocket didn't run away from that. That really showed like the animal in him. He was like, yeah, I'm being consoled by being petted.
I didn't see it so much as him being like an animal, but he was just like letting his guard down and letting somebody be affectionate on him, you know, for somebody that's like that.
Yeah, but see, for me, like, sure, he was allowing himself to be consoled, but he had such a big deal about being called a vermin or a rodent or whatever, so for him to be pet on the head, it showed animal, and anyway. Oh, man. Ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough. What a perfect ending song. And then his girl standing there looking at him like, hey, you wanna like... Just the crews together, and then Groot's growing back. Like they tied it together so well that I give this movie an 8 out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. In the middle, I was like, it's just gonna be another one. I'm not. Yeah. But good rating. Good rating.
Good job. I really like this movie. It's a really fun movie. Still in the MCU. Obviously, they only touched on other things like the Tesseract and stuff. They talked about how the little purple stone was one of the Infinity Stones. We've now seen 3 so far. I think one of the hardest scenes for me that you mentioned was the scene where they're on that skull planet. Rocket is like, you called me vermin, and he's like drunk and stuff, and you can just tell just like how emotional he is and how he's just like sick and tired of being like called this and being treated less than and everything. That's a tough scene for me to watch. I just really feel for him like in that moment. So that scene gets me.
You think you relate to that at all?
Let's not get into that too much. But I love this movie. It feels very different from the rest of the MCU movies while also very much being a part of them. And obviously, they become much more intertwined with the other MCU movies too. This one is probably I'd give this one probably about a 7.5 out of 10.
Oh, wow.
So actually, a little, just barely less than y'all. I prefer Guardians 2, actually, over this one. But I love this one still.
Matt, I'm really surprised that you didn't say what you say about every movie, because I saw it in this movie, and that's Star Wars.
In the middle, I was thinking that. I was thinking this is Star Wars. They had enough humor. They had enough heart. They had enough just different pieces that eventually made it feel different. Of course, it's in space. Of course, there were a lot of details. Yes. In the beginning, it felt like that. At the end, no, it felt like a different movie.
All right, that's the end of this video, Guardians of the Galaxy. Next time, It's Avengers Age of Ultron, which you would think would be the end of Phase 2, but it's officially not. It's actually Ant-Man is the end of Phase 2 officially, I know. I am really looking forward to this one. I loved Age of Ultron. We'll get into why I feel that way in the next video. Thank you guys so much. If you enjoyed this video, leave it a like. Helps my channel out a lot. Consider subscribing if you want to see more fun content like this. Join my Patreon. It's a great way to help support us. Leave a comment down below letting me know what you think of all of our opinions. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.